This is how evil child support is. It sparks this kind of violence. This is a case where a man was forced to pay child support. He realized he had no rights in his marriage, and of course, he went ballistic. Now, listen.
He's got a rifle. He's got a rifle. Shots fired! Shots fired!
2 Wisconsin police officers are shot and killed after pulling over a suspect wanted for missing child support payments. Officials now calling him the epitome of evil.
Right?
Do you hear that? So some guy who fights the grown police is the epitome of evil. Not child murderers, right? Not people who torture people. Guys who fight with police over child support is the most evil, right? Or you can tell by my expression, wrong. Men do this all the time. Men have 3 choices when it comes to child support. They either hang their heads and become slaves, they do what this guy did, or they fight politically to change the system. And they never choose the third, which is the appropriate response. You know why? Because men don't care about other men. They only get upset when it happens to hit them, right? Now I better go a little further because it shows you how this guy got upset once he found out he had no rights in courts.
Okay, we're approaching. Yeah, we see it. It's on his left.
The Wisconsin Department of Justice released dozens of photos and videos to Law and Crime Network showing what led up to the deadly shooting on April 8th. It happened in Barron County, about 2 hours east of Minneapolis. Chautauqua police officer Emily Breidenbach and Cameron police officer Hunter Scheel pulled over an SUV driven by 50-year-old Glenn Douglas Perry. Perry was armed with a rifle.
Both officers are down. He's set up with a rifle.
327, Baron. I'm only copying parts. Is he still on scene?
327, we have 2 officers down. He is set up with a rifle.
Prior to the shooting, officials say Perry was displaying concerning behavior after a messy divorce. In an interview post-shooting, Perry's ex-wife told officials she believed he was bipolar and schizophrenic. She also noted he had multiple guns.
So his wife married a bipolar schizophrenic man. So they're trying to blame his reaction on mental disorder, right? What went on here? This guy, let's see if I can't get him up here. Let me see if I can't get him up here. This is what happened. This guy married a woman who gave him all kinds of promises and I love yous. And then she got tired of him and discarded him because guess what? When he's paying child support, his lifestyle deteriorates. He gets booted out of the family unit. He doesn't get to see his children. So he's been estranged from his children, right? So that's what went on here. Now let's look at the comments here. A man who has nothing to lose is extremely dangerous. Well, that's a good, what is that? Big Daddy Slasher. That's a good point. He does have nothing to lose because this is not about taking care of children, is it? This is about attacking the man and draining him, right? Now, this is an interesting one by Ari Monomen. I knew 2 guys who were well off until a divorce, exactly. One had to work as a security guard and the other as a soda vendor, right? So they go through the humiliation of losing status. These guys work their lives out to get high status jobs, and then they're forced to take whatever job they can to give a woman free money. This has nothing to do with the job, right? Both seem miserable, and rightfully so. They didn't seem then, Ari. They were miserable. Years ago, I read a story about a wealthy businessman who lost almost everything after a divorce. Really? Why did he lose everything? Right? He ended up shooting the judge, which was insane. Actually, it's not insane. It makes perfect sense. The judge didn't have to do that guy dirty, right? If it's an actual equal relationship, then he'd be gaining something from the wife as much as she'd gain from him, right? Of course. Let's see. Now look at this jerkwad, Robo Breaker. 3 men dead over an unpaid bill. This country is deeply insane. It wasn't an unpaid bill. Robo, women are allowed to abandon their children. They never have to pay for them. They can put their children up for adoption. So this goes far deeper than an unpaid bill. This attacks a man at his very core, right? Let's see. This is going to keep happening more and more. Well, yes, citizens are training to defend themselves against the cops overreaching. Now that's interesting. He considers the cops overreaching, right? But the police are actually doing something that is legal, and that is the issue, Punka, is that this kind of enslavement is legal, right? Let's see. If everyone knew how much money the system makes from child support, this has nothing about the system making money. This is what these guys always derail with. If the system, if it was about money making, the woman would be paying as much as the man. That you'd see an equal amount of men and women being drained of their wealth with child support. It's only men, so it's an attack on men in the trenches, right? I understand the guy's frustration. I went to court 20 times to see my son. Every time I saw him, I had a cop there as a chaperone. See, it's treating you as a criminal when you haven't done anything wrong. That's right. Until finally, my brainwashed son doesn't want to talk to me anymore. That's right, Richard. That's right. I don't feel sorry for the police. I'm sorry for the cruel nobody deserves to die like that. Right, exactly. So Richard is getting the point of it, right? The man has nothing to lose, right? Of course. It's these guys are admitting that when child support comes along, it's not about taking care of a child. It's about destroying the man. So he has nothing to lose, right? The most useless comments are, my condolences to the family. Right. Right. Let's see. Anything else worth looking at? No. No, I think we've seen the rest of it, what we need to. Oh, look, except for this one. I've got PTSD from what the family court has done to me over the last 20 years. Right. So they're either people who haven't gone through the experience and then give this neutral, my condolences to the family. And then there are guys who have gone through it and they know exactly what this guy was about. This is why this guy went nuts and shot these officers. He actually, I don't know if I can call him nuts. He reached a breaking point, but he's no longer nuts than black men were nuts when they murdered their slave owners. He's no more nuts than black men who murdered their slave owners in the past. Because what this is slavery. Period. Period. And I'm telling you guys now that men should be exercising the third route. What these guys choose, the first two, which is either pay it like a good slave and live a miserable life, or go out guns blazing, those are trash. The third and proper way to do it is for men to collectively work together on a political level to change the system. So it isn't about man hatred. Remember, this system is about man hatred. That's what child support is. Okay, we'll leave it here.